Hello, hello. Hello, people. How are folks doing today? Hey, Sirius. What's up? It's Real Q. Hello. Croissant. You made it. J420. Quappa. Soren is really mean. I'm Quappa on Discord and he banned me, but I would really like to be unbanned. What Discord are you talking about? Penguin droppings, hello. XCS2. Hey, Mo. Not a night stream? Yeah, I know, right? I have, I decided to do a day stream just so, you know, it's almost like a self-reward. But yeah. Smog, Christine, hello. JHS, hey, how's it going? Leva TV, hey, what's up? Diego in the house. Okay. Hey, Poner, what's up? How's it going? It's been a busy day for some people, I assume. People who are waiting for the Key Cult raffle to be finalized, I assume. I know that Poner and a few other people here have been busy in the Key Cult Discord today. Managing people's questions and silly comments, I guess. Yeah. Again, what's up? So since last time, a few things to announce, I guess. I mean, you guys probably already caught it, but unless you have not, it is my time to show my own set. So I want to say that GMK Dolch R5 is live. So it's a set with row 5 and a bunch of other cool things. Cherry logo Rama keycap and OG Space Keys is also running simultaneously through Heinebush and a bunch of other vendors. So you can get your beige caps and your black and white, all that good stuff. So consider Dolch R5. And speaking of Dolch R5, I want to win, but if I don't mind keeping $600. Yeah, that is true. It is a lot of money. But speaking of Dolch R5, there is, if you go to Instagram.com Project Keyboard or just at Project Keyboard on Instagram, there is a giveaway for a free set. So all you have to do is like comment and stuff. So it's very simple to enter. It's like follow, comment, you know, typical giveaway stuff. So you can just do that. No icon mods? It has the correct mod. That is correct. Y'all really love the word consider? Well, it's because consider is not pushing it, you know? You're not pushing someone to do something. You're asking them to consider it, you know? It's a good it's somewhere right in the middle between, you know, like do it and just suggesting it, you know? So, yeah. Yeah, so free giveaway set. The giveaway is going up till basically this weekend, so you should enter if you have a chance. But basically doesn't matter where you're from, so just enter. If there is like shipping involved, I think Project Keeper will be paying for it. So and if not, like shipping worldwide is still cheaper than buying the full set, so you know, there's that. But anyway, so that's that for that announcement. And there's also, I got some mail today. I got a Resin Keycap from Nightcaps. So I did want to show what I just got. It's kind of relevant because this keycap is the colorway is called Lightning. So kind of cool. Makes me wonder why Lightning won a lightning themed keycap. I mean, I don't think it was intentional, obviously, like it is not a collab keycap or anything, but you know, it was named Lightning because of the lightning bolt writing here. It has this cool dark modifier, like it has like it looks like a dark taro sort of color, like the taro modifier color, and then there's this like metallic shimmery dusting around it. Super cool. Like at first I thought this was like whiteout, like liquid paper, you know, like for like mistakes and stuff. But I mean, it is resin after all. So yeah, just a cool little miniature figurine, as our friend Jeff Leopard would call it. Anyway, just wanted to show that. Today we have the ISO on the desk because Black Simon complained to me about it. He was bitching about how I didn't have ISO on my most recent photos, and so I was like, okay, you know, I'll bring it out this time. But you know, it's cool. It's cool. I could set it up to do fun things, but right now it doesn't really do anything. I've actually only been using it for like push to talk. So that's what I do with it. Push to talk. It's like right here. Like I just put it next to me and I just like use this over push to talk. Imagine not leaving ISO in a drawer. It was on my other table for a bit, inside of the case. So it was inside of its case, which fits it perfectly because that's kind of cool. But yeah, that's where it was before. Hey, Kuritsu TV, hello. Alright, let's get to the build, shall we? So, today, we're gonna be building a, Kyuu. Or is it? Is it a Kyuu though? Nah, but it is a Kyuu. Or is it? Surprise Zeno. So there's two PCBs here. I'll just take one out. But nah, there is a Kyuu here. Quantrik 75%. Yeah, this is the Nana Go. So there's our Kyuu for today. It's a nice pink Kyuu with a brass plate. So you can see that the brass plate is highlighted like that from being sandwiched between the case. Pretty similar to, like, I mean, like the mid piece on a keycult is kind of like this too, right? USB-C port and the back plate weight is this Sakura. It's just dirt, okay. Anyway, so that's what we're building today. Hey, 21 Solo, hello. Anyway, I should probably test the PCB because I haven't done that. The storm in New York was crazy yesterday. Yeah, so like over here in my neighborhood, it was not so bad. Mainly because I guess we just didn't get as much rain. We did get a lot of wind, so I could hear like things like rattling around and stuff, like shaking. but like we didn't have like fallen trees or like you know, like power outages, at least in my neighborhood. But a lot of my friends got power outages like in Jersey, Connecticut, like Pennsylvania, parts of Pennsylvania, and then a lot of different parts in the city. So yeah, it was pretty bad. Yo, Adam, what's up? Ran out of power the entire day yesterday. There were like 3 loud electrical spark bursts. Oh my god, that's kind of scary stuff, honestly. Like, I don't know, like having a circuit breaker is important, but also like I don't know, it's just scary. Okay, let's see if I can get Via up. Okay, cool. Sure, that works. Okay. I look outside my window and literally saw a branch fall and dent Alexis on the street. Yeah, one of my friends was showing me a photo of someone's Corolla getting crushed by a tree. Pretty sad. I mean, I assume like insurance could cover that because it's like a natural event. But you know, it's still not nice to have your car damaged from a storm. So yeah, I mean, scary stuff. I hope people are, you know, safe. Okay, I think this is gonna work fine, but let's still test everything just in case. One. Okay, this is gonna work fine, I think. Cool. Alright, cool. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen anything else abnormal in my neighborhood, at least, from the storm. But, I mean, I think some people still have power outages out there. So, I mean, I hope things get resolved quickly for them. Okay. Let's get the plate out of this. So, Sensei Jad, do you already have power back? Is that what it is? Because I mean, I'm actually not very sure where you're located. I think you're in Jersey, right? So. I guess while we're just doing casual stuff, I'll talk about some announcements that I saw that you guys maybe might be interested in. Oh yeah, I have something exciting to announce, but that it's taking some time. So give me like 1 second. Wait, crap. How do I do this? Okay, got it. Bergen County? Oh, I see. Got it. Anyway, some random things to announce. Novel keys, there's a bunch of switches restocked right now, so if you're looking for switches, just check novel keys. They have some Gingham kits. NK65s are going to be coming up next Monday, so check that out. What else? Tomorrow, there's gonna be some extras for a bunch of different things like GMK camping, analog dreams, Olivia stabilizers. Yeah, so check for extras and other things. They're gonna be stocking a lot of NK65s over time too. Several different colorways coming up. They have black aluminum ones coming up this Monday. Next batch is going to be at the end of August with E-white aluminum, and then entry edition beige and purple in September. And then there's going to be 3 additional new colors sometime later in September. So there's going to be like, wait, what's that? Beige, purple, black, E-white. So there's going to be like 7 different colors of NK65s at some point this year. So worth checking out if you're interested in getting an NK65. V2. Dodo, hello. Alright, and the more exciting announcement that I did kind of want to make just now, aside from the things that I already talked about, was this. So I commissioned a bunch of emotes which are currently pending approval. But so we don't have them in chat today, but I did want to announce that I have some emotes. There's a hi, hypers, LOL, raid, sweating emote, thinking emote. They're currently available on my Discord, so if you do exclamation Discord, which I just typed, there's emotes that you can use if you have Nitro or within the Discord server as well, of course. But yeah, they're available now. But I already, of course, submitted these to Twitch. They're just pending approval, and I know that recently because there's a big surge in new people streaming, as well as just a lot of requests. They take a while. So yeah, just pending on that. Hopefully soon we'll have that. Unfortunately, for affiliates, only 5 emote slots are available for tier 1 sub, and for tier 2 sub and above, like there's like only one for tier 2 and one for tier 3. So not much available. But then later, like in partner, you have more slots. But you know, hopefully more slots in the future. If not, maybe I don't know, maybe submit it to like Better TV or something. I don't know. That puts it in the public repo, right? So like I'm not super fond of that, but we'll see. But yeah, I submitted at least 6 of these to Twitch for now. So hopefully those will get approved soon. Yeah, so that's what I have. I'll probably be commissioning more in the near future because I really like how they look. I think they're super cute. I think you can make BTTV emotes private if you want. Yeah, I think so. But then you can only use them on my channel. That's fine. That's okay. because I would like people to use them here anyway. Later in the future, like if I have more slots, then I will use put them on Twitch here, so people can use them outside as well if they want. But yeah, so the inspiration behind the character, right, is basically so like my alias is Lightning. I'm a big fan of David Bowie, which is what the lightning on the face is representative of. It's David Bowie's lightning makeup, yeah, so it's like an amalgamation of all that. The artist suggested that they'll try to like make me like in a chibi sort of version. I was like, I have never like imagined myself in that kind of way, so like I was like, okay, let's just give it a shot. And she did this, and I was like, that's actually super cute. And so this entire time I thought it was related to God of War. Yeah, people could relate it to God of War. Who's the artist? They're a small artist on Fiverr. I'll announce them once things get approved. Need to see her other stuff. Oh yeah, okay. I'll link people later on. But yeah, their name is Solely Soul, I think. They also made emotes for other people that I know, so I got a recommendation from them. Boy of Lightning, yeah, sort of. Anyway, so that's the inspiration. So anyhow, we just disassembled the case, so that's just the top piece. As you can see, there is a groove here, so that's where the plate gets sandwiched. There's these alignment tabs, the brass, there's a little brass block here that is part of the badge, that just holds it, it's held together by a screw. And then the bottom piece is pretty simple, right? Just a wedge with a rectangular brass weight. So you actually have to have the plate in order to fully have a case here, because otherwise you have this big gap, right? So the plate has it's kind of thick at the top. And okay, so hopefully this goes well today. I know that I've built Kyuus before. They have notoriously tight brass plates, which is something that I don't like about them, because it makes stabilizers really tough to get right. But we'll give it a shot. Is the Kyuu for a client? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. For switches, we're going to be using some Alpacas, lubed by Mr. Croissant, who's in chat. Yeah, these were lubed with Tribosys 3204. I just took a few and tried them out, and I was like, ooh, these are nice. So yeah, let's see, we're doing full backspace today, and so 7U. Okay, 7U. Croissant. Is this how Mr. Croissant becomes the new lubed by Croissant TM Croissant spec switches? It's like the new Remsky, except I guess Remsky kind of retired, right? So he's not doing any more switches lately. I think Milk and a bunch of other people that I know who are lubing lately. Alpacas smoother than retooled blacks? Yeah, I would say so. I would say that they come in smoother, stock especially. They're pretty smooth. Yeah, I would say so. I would say they're smoother, just in general. Okay. I need to clip these. extra thick. Yeah. Goodbye, Soren. I just saw him leave. I guess today is a EU-friendly stream, relatively. I guess relatively friendly. It's still like nighttime over there, or evening. (9:43), so it's nighttime. I see. Not too bad. 6-hour difference from here. That's not bad. Rip, no key cult? Do you get an email? They announced? Oh well. F's in chat for those who did not win, and hopefully someone here won. But yeah. Sorry to those who tried entering. Another day, another key called L. I'm a loser. Ooh, where is my brush? Our wallets are thankful. Yeah. It's very expensive boards. My wallet is thankful, but my heart is crying. Just got home after a late night photo walk. That's cool. Do you regularly do that? Real Kyuu. I certainly don't go out these days at all, but photo walks. I used to go on photo walks every now and then, but I definitely don't do that anymore. Nearly enough. I'm trying to start a build service for boards. What is the best way to promote? I only charge for shipping, nothing else. I use it as stream content, which is basically a payment. Just post on all the different social medias. You know, the usual stuff. There's really no secret to that. Just post, be proactive. You know, post in different places. Tell your friends. You know, don't be too pushy. Just, you know, people will come in if they want to. That's how everybody started, really. If you want to push like more content, like actual more content, you could make videos. You could talk about interesting stuff. I mean, not that I do that too much. Help me pack my figurines, please. Smells like bulgogi. Figurines, man, those are hard to pack because they're delicate. But I mean, I guess just shove them into a box and make sure you don't treat the box improperly, and you'll be fine, right? I legitimately don't know though. You have so many, probably. Big Brain Move asked how to promote in a popular streamer's chat. Explaining what you offer as a promotion. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Petrov, what's up? Good afternoon. How are you doing? So the thing about providing a build service is that whether you do it for free or not, the thing about build services is that you need to gain people's trust. And not just that, it's also just like it seems intuitive, but at the same time, yeah, you just need people to trust you. You need to do your job really well, that kind of stuff, you know, like you're still handling other people's stuff. It's kind of easy to make mistakes. Like, things might work, but if it's like not up to a certain level, I guess, or certain, like, you know, like there's like certain little things, subtle things, like how good your soldering is, and like how good your stabs, like there's a lot of little things that people mind a lot. But I think it becomes more exacerbated when you're talking about other people's things, you know, because they're gonna pay more attention to what you're doing. But yeah, I've been meaning to ask, are you thinking about adding to your channel point rewards? Yeah. I just don't know what I can reward y'all for channel points. I've been thinking about it, but there's really not much. I mean, the thing is, like, hydration. I certainly hydrate a lot. I have coffee here. I have water here. I mean, and like, I don't know. I don't have a pet, so there's no treats for pets. Request for typing test? Oh man. But if like a ton of people request that, then like it would be like minutes on minutes, right? But I mean, yeah, I could do that for a high fee. It's not like I don't do it either. But actually, that's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. I just I would probably limit it. I'll be like, oh, like 3 claims per stream or something like that. So that even if you claim it, and like if it's past the limit and you claim it, you wasted your points. Like, got him. Choose Artisan to go unfinished. Oh, that's not a bad idea either. Choose Artisan or choose key set maybe. Although, I mean, if you choose something really terrible, I'll override it. But yeah, I know that you can limit it. So I'll figure that out. Those are good suggestions. If you guys have suggestions, do write them down. I'll actually jot those down and put them to the side and think about how I'm gonna distribute accordingly. Yeah, the Artisan thing or the key set thing might not be a bad idea at all. I mean, there are times when I have to just use a certain key set because it's what I am requested to use. Like, they're like, oh, like I would love to see this board with this key set. And like, if it's a client, I'm like, yeah, of course, like I respect that. I'll just do that because it's just easier, you know. You can refund and reject the reward. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that is possible as well. Yeah, no, those are all good suggestions. I'll definitely consider all those. Just write them in. I'll put them down and think what to do. Yeah, Artisan, key sets. I guess like random things, typing tests maybe, or yeah. What else would there be? I know that there's people who have done like random activities, but I don't know what I could do. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. Yeah, I'll be honest, because I don't do this full time, and I also like haven't really like had a schedule to do it. I guess I haven't been very I haven't been too like attentive to these small things, like small details. Like the emotes part, I did it because I wanted to. Like I was like, oh, that should be really cute and nice. But like the channel points and stuff, that's kind of new to me. It didn't exist when I first started on Twitch. And then yeah, I guess I'm still like learning some of the bells and whistles. Make a reward to crack a keycap stem? No, I'm not gonna do that. That's silly. I don't want to do things that like are like sabotaging or like damaging to things. Like that's kind of like, I feel like it promotes like kind of a bit of a toxicity, or like, I don't know. It's keycap cruelty, man. It's just, I don't know, it's just not too cool, I think. Like, it's fun, but Expensive reward to change your daily driver? Oh, that's not a bad idea either. Although, yeah, sure. That's actually not a bad idea at all. The problem is you wouldn't know what my daily driver is. Unless you knew exactly what you wanted to request. Yeah, you could do that. I would be like, oh, so like, what do you guys want to see? And then maybe you can mention a board and I'll bring out what's most similar to it. That would work. Rotate daily driver? Yeah, something like that, yeah. It's not a bad idea because if you had a lot of points, let's say, you could request rotate daily driver and then be like typing test. So you could technically hear a typing test of a daily driver that I don't have on stream that day. Which is kind of cool. It takes extra time, but why not, you know? Hey, won a 165 black brass? Congrats, OV Tam. Or I assume that's Matt Vo. Congrats. Wait, I should use my own ideas, lol. Thank you, Hayashi. We can share ideas. I mean, plus sharing with other content creators out there is actually more fun. I was actually talking to a few fellow streamer friends of mine, and definitely contemplating the idea of a few collab sort of streams. So maybe like in the future, like sometime later this year, you might expect something like that. Yeah, so debating, trying to see what kind of cool things we could do, fun things, I guess. Like, I mean, people do like games and other things, but yeah, I mean, there's other things that could be doable. Maybe something related to building for each other or criticizing each other's builds. I don't know. Could be something fun. Teja and Diego would be the dream. I could definitely ask. Hugo and Pudzy streams are great content. That's because they're both silly people. They're both such silly people. I'm so different from Pudzy or Hugo. But yeah, Nathan and myself, I mean, we've done. I've been there as a guest for Nathan's stream. But yeah, I mean, I mod for Nathan, so I could always ask Nathan and be like, hey, I'll do something fun. But I mean, I know that he's way busier, so it would be really according to his schedule and what he wants to do with it. But that could be fun. I just wonder what we would be doing. Oh, actually, one thing that we said way back, this was like before he moved to his parents' place, I suppose. It was that we should do a mukbang stream together. It didn't end up happening because he had like subathons and a few other things going on, and I guess I didn't have time back then, and it didn't happen. But that was something that we did talk about for a bit, like a mukbang stream. True Koreans, yeah. Just I don't know, like something to just chill and have fun, you know. Didn't get anything from the keycard raffle. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Janky. This is probably the best time for one. Yeah, this would be a good time for doing like random long streams with other people to like have fun and chill. Yeah, no, that's true. I'll definitely do it. Probably after this month though for me, because I have a bunch of things going on this month. Like outside of keyboards. Do you know when Nathan's back? Pretty soon, I suppose. He's just busy with like home setting up and stuff, like because he's also helping his parents set up and stuff. So it's not just him, like he also has things to do with them. So like yeah, he's just busy with like life things basically. But yeah, and I know that he's been busy like prepping content too. Like I think he's really moving towards like YouTube and stuff as well. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure you'll see him again soon. He's just busy man. Did anybody try for the Fiel or Clipe on 1UP yesterday? I heard they went up. I mean, they were going to be up, right? Yo, Chongasaras, hello. How you doing? My friend Chongasaurus was super nice and checked in earlier this morning, saying like if things were alright after the storm. If you haven't checked out Chongasaurus' content, he does these cool videos where he breaks down builds that he does for Twitch streamers, among other people out there, and he like gifts them and like, you know, gets a reaction, that kind of stuff. He does really cool content. He does build streams as well, and takes some amazing photos and really nice and smooth B-rolls. But yeah, he's on YouTube and Twitch, so do check him out. He's also on Instagram, Susboards, so do check out Chongasaurus' content. I've heard people using lead sheet to fill their keyboards for soundproofing and adding weight. What are your thoughts? I'll be honest, personally, I think that a good board shouldn't require additional material, but if it's something that makes your experience better, I feel like it's just like if it's practically a better thing to do, you should do it. So if it improves your overall typing experience, like from sound to feel or whatever, yeah, go ahead and do it. Like I feel like it can't hurt. I mean, the only thing that I can see going wrong is like if you put something metallic in there and it shorts, because maybe like you press hard and like the pin's shorted. That could cause problems on your PCB, but other than that, I actually am not very sure if there's anything else. But something to consider if you're filling your case with stuff. I would recommend, personally, I just recommend using something simple like shelf liner, or like cloth, you know, like something that's not electrically conductive. Yeah. Let's see. Iron 180 will be first come first serve, right? Well, that's too bad. I have no idea about Iron 180. Sorry, I haven't kept up with the Iron series at all. So I wouldn't know. If that's what the Keycap thread says, then probably. What about the washer from when you screw down the PCB? You mean the washers that you use for stabilizers? I mean, the whole idea of using washers for stabilizers is that you are you're electrically insulating the PCB and the screw of the stabilizer, right? But if it's for other parts, I mean, yeah, I mean, washers are supposed to be intermediaries, and you know, between like two different parts, and sometimes like if the washer is like non-conductive, then you know there's no issue. In general, the issue is only when like things press together too closely. Yeah, the red non-conductive washers, yeah, those are fine. Yeah, those are fine. I mean, like there's no issue with those. Like there's no problem I mean, I use them all the time, regardless of like if it's a screw-in stab, I pretty much use them every time. Small wax. I'm building my first keep at the moment, and my soldering iron keeps re-oxidizing in like 4 seconds. I'm going to tin out of it now and hope for the best. If you're running it too hot, it's also gonna oxidize more quickly, so just keep that in mind. Also, if you're using a water sponge, it also is going to oxidize faster. It's going to eat up on the tip more quickly because of the because it's water. You're cooling it off basically, and water has oxygen, right? But if you're using like a brass sponge to like when you tin it and you use brass sponge to clean the tip, that's probably gonna be better. I had it on full. I'm using a brass cleaner though. Yeah. So if you're using a soldering iron, I personally say that you should use any soldering iron that has temperature control. And if you have temperature control, try to aim for whatever is equivalent to about, some people use 300, some people use 350. I personally use 350 degrees Celsius for my soldering iron temperature. So basically don't go over that. I think over 350 is probably a bad idea, because solder melts at a lower temperature than that, and obviously if it's running too hot and you leave it on the PCB for too long, you might burn components. You might burn pads, you might burn things, so not a good idea. Obviously not good for the health of your iron either. You're gonna run through your iron more quickly. Do realize that irons are not permanent. Like, iron tips do oxidize, they do chip away over time. So you, like, if it's a soldering iron that can have a replacement part, then just know that you might need it if it's something that you plan to keep for a long time. So yeah, if you're using good 6337 solder, yeah. So if you're using leaded solder, you can so leaded solder has a lower melting point, so that's why you can go lower. Like, you could even go to 250 and it'll still melt, just slowly. So it depends on what you're using your iron for. Like, sometimes you want a slow melting phase because it helps you regulate kind of like how you're using the solder more carefully, especially for like smaller components and stuff, and also like heat sensitive components, right? In the case of most through-hole soldering that happens in keyboards, it is not like, it's not that it's not that necessary to do that. But you still want to take all the precautions you can, so like being careful and not overheating your parts. So yeah. What games do you play with that G Pro Wireless? Lately I haven't played a lot of games, but I mean, when I played games, I would play Overwatch, I would play a bit of CSGO. I play like single player games too, like The Witcher, or like like games like that. I played a bit of like PUBG and Apex. Don't really play those anymore lately. What else? I mean, yeah, I guess it depends. I mean, pretty much everything. I don't really switch mice, so this is what I use. At work, I use an MX Master. What's better for a first build? Go lower temp? If you want to be careful, sure. I mean, like 300 degrees Celsius should be good enough. Don't go above like 350. Above 350 Celsius, it's pretty hot. You're definitely running really hot. Could you tell us about the lube in the jar and how it got here? Got there? The lube in the jar is Krytox 205 grade 0. How it got there, I ordered a very large amount of lube from Krellbit/switchmod.net, and I put it in a jar. That's how a large amount of lube of Krytox 205 grade 0 got there. No, there's nothing else. Nice ISO. Thank you. High temp better? High temp will melt faster, yeah. It will melt your solder faster, which can be nice because it'll the heat conduction is better. Have you swapped the mouse feet for hyperglides? Yeah, so someone gave me new mouse feet. If you solder at twice the temp, you're done twice as fast. That is so false, but it's okay. I'll give that a pass. Just in case you're actually very skilled at soldering and you actually can manage to just do things twice as fast. Or you could be done immediately, PCB fried. True that. Fire, bro. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so I'm not like huge into like PC building and that kind of stuff. But it's not that I'm not huge into it. It's more like I built my PC and then basically called it a day. Like I don't improve my components regularly or stuff. Like sometimes, like the only stuff I'll like upgrade on is like, oh, I need more storage. I just get more storage. But I haven't like upgraded like my GPU or like other parts in a long time. Like I built in 2017 and haven't looked back since. I still have a 1070. Yeah, so my PC is not super powerful or anything. It's definitely behind by current standards now. But you know, it works. It does what I need to do. I mostly work on my PC. I don't game that much. So I guess there's that. You cut up the solder into little bits and lay it on top and then put it in the oven for 5 minutes. I feel like that's only applicable if you know what you're doing with the oven. You probably get asked this a lot, but how did you get started doing builds for people? I actually started doing builds for free for my friends. And some people were like, hey, you do a pretty good job of building. And I personally enjoyed it a lot. I was like, oh, this is relaxing, and I actually kind of want to like get better at it, and kind of like, you know, like is there more to this, and that kind of stuff. So that's how it started. I just did it for friends and people I knew in the community. I did it for free for a long time. I just told them like, hey, just ship it to me, I'll ship it back to you, like no problem. That was about it. I basically just tried to help people out doing builds, and they were like, oh, you do a pretty nice job. And I was like, thanks. And then later on, it was basically like the reason I started like charging for it was because I actually just I pretty much get busier. I've gotten busier over the years, and I was like, I wish I could do it more, but I can't justify the amount of time I spend doing it. And so I was like, you know, it might as well put that money back into what I'm doing. So that's kind of how I like eventually like started charging, and you know, like with the money I bought like a camera, like you know, tried to like improve the quality just so that it's more enjoyable. Murakami shirt, yeah, it's like from the Uniqlo collection. It's the Doraemon one. On Reddit, I saw someone starting off by offering free lubing and builds and streaming them. Yeah, I mean, some people do that. I personally think that lubing is super boring in terms of like lubing. It's not that lubing is boring itself, but more like lubing streams are super boring. Because it's just like mostly you also have to like know, like, you know, have something to talk about, right? Yeah. So there's that. I don't think like I could talk non-stop for like many hours and be interesting the whole time, right? It's not easy. But yeah, that's kind of how I started though. I mean, I started actually like, I don't know, when did I first start building boards? I mean, I started in the community like in late 2016, started building early 2017. So yeah, it's been like three and a half years now since I started doing keyboard stuff. So like over time I've built like quite a lot of keyboards. Like I think I built a lot for free. So like back then. Oh, yo, Penguin. Hey, thank you so much for the sub. Oh, actually, who is Supreme? Thank you so much for gifting one sub to Penguin. Oh, thank you. But yeah, I think I've built like, how many builds I've done? Like I think I've built like over at least 50 for myself, like over the years, like different things, different plate builds and all that stuff. And then I've maybe like done like 100-ish builds for people, probably more. I didn't document all of them because I would just do them for free. So yeah, I've probably done like 150, 200 builds by now. Yeah. Any worst build ever stories? Yeah. Let me remember. It was really early on, but basically I screwed up a friend's PCB, and I also realized that like it was not necessarily bad, but I just kind of butchered it even more than I had to in trying to fix it. It was gore worthy stuff, and then I think it was like, I think the stabs were like not fitting in the plate, and I tried to like fiddle with the plate, and the plate like bent in the process, and I mean eventually I just replaced the whole thing. I just bought them a new kit. But it was like a close friend of mine, so we just laughed it off. We were like, oh, haha, I guess we screwed up, because this was like one of our first times doing this. This was like really early on. This was like one of my, like, this was like our first builds, and because we like got in around the same time, and I was like, ha 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 ha, nervous laugh, haha, I said I would help you, but I didn't. But I mean, yeah, we just laughed it off and like, you know, got a new keyboard, and that was fine. It just turned out that we got like a cheap kit, that the parts, yeah, were not fitting very well, and like the PCB was like just very wonky. Everything that could go wrong did type of situations, huh? Yeah, exactly. It's like oh, you think you only screwed up one thing, but you actually screwed up more in trying to fix that. Yeah. Oh, 21 Solo, thanks for stopping by, and see ya. Have a good day. But yeah, I've had situations like that. But you know, you learn from those situations. You learn from them. These Kyuu PCBs kind of come in a little bent. Can you see that? It's like thick and bent. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Kyuus have a notorious. They're very notorious for having extremely tight stabilizer cutouts. So I won't be surprised if today I'm fiddling around with the stabilizers for a bit. So just don't be too surprised. It's not my first time building a Kyuu, but I know that they just have really tough stabilizer cutouts. You just have to be careful and diligent, and you just have to try things out until they work for Kyuus. People love Kyuus, but they don't realize that Kyuus also have really tight cutouts. They're not bad boards. It's just I wish Quantrik had made it with a little bit more wiggle room, but that's not the case. It's like a very ideal world sort of situation. Kind of banana? Yeah, kind of banana. I remember helping a client configure the PCB before handing it off, and then the next day he texted me saying he broke the keyboard. Oh no. That's happened with a client too though. Like I've given them a build and they're like, oh yeah, it's all good. Oh, I love it. And then like maybe like 2 days later that week they were like, oh, so I was trying to program my keyboard and it stopped working. And I was like, what do you do? And they're like, oh yeah, I like plugged it in and like smoke started coming out. I was like, what? And I think it was their cable. Like they had a USB like a USB hub issue. And I was like, oh, okay. I think we're gonna have to replace that. Yeah. Do you think gasket mounted is overhyped? I think gasket mounted is, it's not that it's overhyped. I think it's more so that people think it's the end all be all, which I think maybe that's what's overhyped. Is that people think that it is like the best. you know, the one. Like, I think bottom mount, top mount, tray mount, they can all be good in certain situations. There's certain configurations that just work really well for each type of mounting. It is true that gasket mount does have like the main pros of gasket mount, right? Is like, yeah, like that uniform typing feel, like more flexibility, that kind of stuff. But it doesn't mean it's going to be your best typing experience just because it is gasket mounted. Something to note. I wish Quantrik would share the plate files. I do agree with that. I do wish some plate files were public so people could fiddle around with them. Oof. Okay, so as I expected, this plate is so tight. I'm gonna have to loosen this a little bit and see where. Oh god. Okay. Check how tight this plate is, okay? Look at this spacebar stab, okay? It takes me force to lift these up. Like, the stab is fine. It's the plate pushing against the stab housing that's basically jamming it. That's how tight this is. Like, okay, like these are fine. Actually, no, they're kind of tight still. Okay, so this is fine, obviously, because it's like the most, like, it's like the loose one. Same for the enter. But like actually left shift is okay, but the spacebar one is so tight. Like, it just takes me like extra force to lift it up and down. So I might have to shave that a little bit. So we might do that. Anyway. Having a softer plate option would make the Kyuu more desirable for me. I do agree with that too. Quantrik will share plate files if you ask nicely. Okay. That's news to me. I haven't heard of people using different plates yet, other than the ones that were provided. Alright. I am going to shave a little bit of this stab housing, just a little bit on the side. All it takes is a file or sandpaper. I've done it before, just to give it a little bit of wiggle room. Instead of it's easier to obviously file a stab housing than it is to file a plate, a brass plate to be specific. So we're gonna do that. No, it will mess up the stab. No, it doesn't mess up the stab. I know. It messes up the stab if you go too far. It doesn't mess up the stab if it's just the edge. The problem is this. So in this part here of the space bar, this part is basically pushing towards like the middle. So it basically forces the wire to just jam to the wall. And that it basically makes the spacebar stab not go through properly. Anyway. Easier to replace the stab than the plate too? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's the idea here. I'm gonna just leave this here. Let's see, we have some sandpaper too. Alright. Hey, Bouncy Chillups, hello. OC Jaden, hello. Hello. Okay. Are alpacas an endgame linear to you? I think they can be endgame linears, yeah. They're very smooth, and they're very smooth, and they're very like easy, like they're relatively easy to source. They're restocked fairly frequently. They're very smooth. Like, I think overall you Yo, that Ewok Artisan is fire. Thank you, thank you. So I'm just like, is this focusing or not? Wait, I think it's not autofocus. I'm just filing the sidewall. What do you use the ISO for? I use it for push to talk a lot. I also use it for like play pause, like media stuff, or like random shortcuts that I sometimes need. Yeah. Customer build? Yeah, customer build indeed. Is Jurok also from JWK? Yeah. Yeah, when people say JWK and Jurok, they're kind of like equivalent. Makes me think of that meme on Reddit where they're all JWK. Always was, yeah. JWK is a menu and Jurok has her own molds. I see. I'm not exactly sure of the nomenclature for the specific parts and stuff, but yeah, I mean, basically, like, when people say, like, Jurok, JWK, they'll kind of refer to, like... I mean, they're all, like, made of the same materials and stuff. So, like, spec-wise, you can imagine that they're, like, the same thing. I love that spaceman meme. Yeah. How much do you shave off? Literally like I don't even know. It's like decimals of a millimeter. Like, it's like nothing really, just enough that the plate will not push too much. It's really nothing that you need to shave. Sometimes you use less, sometimes it's more. The thing is, like, you just need to make sure that they don't like rub too much on the stab. Once that's done, like, it's fine. Pretty much until it starts working is the idea. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I've seen stabs that there's, because things have tolerances, right? Sometimes the stabs just work, sometimes they don't. Like, I could swap out stabs over and over, like, you know, like many times, and I could make it work, but I might as well just try to get it done with one pair. See where that goes. But yeah. So the plate cutout is pinching the stab housing, causing the wire to stick. That is correct. That is correct. That is exactly what's going on with the plates. It's because the plate is so tight with the housing that it pushes the stabs in a, like, sideways, so it causes the wire to bind. We'll see. I mean, we'll see if this works. It's just a trial and error sort of situation here. So. a little bit too tight. Yeah, still tight. If you don't shave it, would it cause the key to stick and not bounce back? Yeah. Do you want me to show you what it looks like if you don't do anything about it? I'll show you. It's a good way to demonstrate it. I'll show you exactly what happens when you don't do anything about the plate or the stab. So right now I have two options, right? I have the option to shave the plate or shave the stab. I could probably shave the plate too, but I'm currently choosing not to. It's like I'll do it if I think that the stab is not enough. But basically what happens is this, like, I'll just put a switch on it. I'll grab one of my space bars here, right? So I have a GMK space bar. They put it on. Okay, look at this. So completely returned is like that. Like, it pretty much doesn't return fully. Like, there is about, like, it binds right there, and then there's about maybe like a few millimeters that can still go up further. And it's also, you can hear it click. So it yeah, it basically just doesn't come back. So yeah, Kyuu plates are like, yeah, not the best in this situation. For all the other stabs are okay except for the spacebar. The spacebar is definitely the worst. But yeah, I might just I might end up doing some work on the plate itself because it's easier actually to work on the plate than on the stab. So I might do that. All right, I'm sorry, friends. It's a delayed process because it's just could have done it. I should have done it off stream too, but it's a good way to show you guys that sometimes this kind of stuff can happen. Or like the plates are just not ideal for the stabs. What's my favorite Artisan keycap of all time? One of my favorite sculpts is the Cosmonaut by Booper. I like Clacks as well by Clack Factory. Yeah. And there's like other things, but yeah, those two are some of the makers I like a lot. I like Key Collective. Made keycaps as well. Key Collective is a maker that made like these cute snack keycaps or like fruit themed blanks. Yeah. Anyway, I got some permission to do some work on the plate, so I'm gonna bring my waste bin. All right. And we're gonna get some airflow in here, and we're gonna do some manual labor here. But I'm gonna do it down here because I can't like hold it tightly enough otherwise. You got this? Yeah. No worries. I've done this a couple of times already before. It's easier to actually just do this than try to figure out the stabs. I mean, like, try to fiddle around with, you know, with the limited amount of space. Yeah. Let's see. You sure working on that plate? Yeah. I have permission from my client too, so it's not like. Anyone who just makes some cool resin row 1 caps normal profile? There's quite a lot. I would say if you like row 1, I think Tokipi makes some sweet blanks. Tokipi is Tokkipee. Tokipi. They make cool row 1 blanks like in cherry profile and whatnot. But if you like, maybe like if you haven't seen like JWK, you could check out JWK. They make also like row 1 stuff with like encapsulated things. Yeah, there's a bunch of different makers out there. I guess you need to determine what your tastes are, what you want to do. Hey, Tree Leaf, hello. How are you doing today? Doing some manual labor here today. Pretty much just blanks. Yeah, then I suggest checking out Tokipi. Tokipi does some sweet work with blanks. And they're pretty cute too, and I think they go really well on a lot of different keyboards. I mean, that's like one example of them. Okay, so it's pretty minor work that I did, but I widened it slightly. So, oops, opposite way. Let's just seal this part up. Polymer Salon. Oh yeah, Polymer Salon does some neat row 1 stuff as well. Like they're like regular keycap shaped, if that's what you're looking for. Okay, that's getting better. Just needs a little more maybe. Prime Caps and Glyco, my favorite blanks right now. I can't wait for Hello Blanks. Yeah. Glyco is a new maker. Glyco, they also do some good work, so I would check out Glyco as well. Glyco caps. Thoughts on filming milky blacks? This is for Gateron switches. I personally don't like to film Gateron switches. I think inks sometimes people do film those, but I personally don't feel the need to. It depends. I pretty much film switches on a case dependent basis, where basically I film them if I think that they are kind of like wobbly or like the housings don't fit well together. If it were different, then you know, if it's like otherwise just tight when you close it, then I don't think I need to film. People say it's for the sound, but I do think that the sound is influenced by the fact that they are wobbly. So that's why, like, if they are wobbly, then I just use film for them. This plate is just so freaking tight. But it looks like it's also because it's like slightly bent. But let me see if I straighten it out. Definitely is better. Okay. Just a little bit more on the inside of the right part of the stab, and we're gonna be good to go probably. Let me grab at these, like specifically when I'm doing stuff like this, I wish I had a Dremel on me, but I don't have a Dremel tool here at home. Like there's one at work, but I need to borrow it. Rotary tool. I should probably purchase one at some point. Just purchase a rotary tool for hack jobs. I mean, they don't happen often. They only happen like maybe once in a blue moon. But it can be useful. Can be useful. Joined kind of late. How come you're filing the plate? I'm filing the plate because the plate is too tight for stabilizers to fit properly, and also because the plate has a little bit of a bend, so it makes it a little bit difficult to do that. But basically, it's just to make sure it's easier to work with. That's all. And it's an easy fix because it doesn't really affect any other thing. Like, it doesn't affect the aesthetic of the plate or anything like that because it's filed on the inside and not on the outside. The plates are blasted, so yeah. Hello, Keycap winners and losers. Nice. I didn't even join the Keycap raffle. No point for me. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry for those who didn't have much success in the Keycap raffle today, but there's always next time. They do have, I mean, they do have drops pretty, like several times a year, so I wouldn't dismiss it too easily. Don't have money to buy? Yeah, that makes sense. They are a pretty penny to purchase, so. Okay, so stabs are definitely looking way better now. So I'm not sure if you noticed, but before I was hardly able to lift the spacebar stab. So let me show you. I'll put a switch here so it's straight. But basically now I can actually lift it up and down easily. See? That's the result from filing this a little bit. So now we actually have proper return. So you guys can see. How do I hold this for you? Yeah, there we go. Right? Big difference compared to earlier. Right? Anyway, that's the gist of it. As to like why I was filing this plate is just to make things work. When is number 1 revision 2? Is that wait, number 1 revision 2? The TKL is it should be a while. I mean, they're currently in production, I believe, right? The raffle was not too long ago that I recall. So, I mean, the first part. December shipping according to current schedule. So that's gonna be a while. I mean, if it ships in December, then it means their raffle will probably be held closer to January, right? Because it takes a while for them to ship and make sure that people receive what they need. and then anything that is extra is QC'd, and then they proceed to do a raffle for the rest of the pre-order units. All right. They do the third round of QC or something. Yeah. They do several passes of QC because basically the first QC is just to make sure that all the parts are kind of like okay. I mean, this like at the factories oftentimes, and then the second round is when they get it, and they're basically trying to check for like any problems with like the parts that they have to use to fulfill the orders that have been already placed, and then lastly they do another round for like for the sale. So this would be for like for the second half pre-order. Yep, factory QC, C3 equals QZ in the key equals QC in the US. Yeah, so that would be essentially the same thing. That's what I said. Alright, so now you can actually see the difference after I file these. I'm like sweating right now. Because hell of a manual job here. But yeah, so I'll turn this down. You can see and then the space bar. Sounds okay, right? If that sounds weird to you guys, let me know, because, I mean, of course, if you think that it's weird, then I'll work on it. Okay. Cool. Alright. Hey Lightning, recently got a Zephyr that you built as a trade. Do you think it is a good idea to put tactile switches with that thick plate? Yeah, why not? Why not? That's the like the 5mm plate, right? Yeah. I think tactile switches could be alright. I mean, so like I feel like for tactile switches on a thicker plate, yeah, I guess they would feel a little bit kind of like harsh. Like the bottom out would be pretty like hard, right? It would bottom out pretty hard. But then if let's say you're using like Zelio V2s or like Holy Pandas, because it's so thick, it would dampen a little bit of that like bottom out sound. So it could be pretty nice. I would say if you're not into linears, go for it, because you won't ever know then if you never try. I always suggest people to just try it out. Like, you know, don't be afraid to try it out. I'm using ergo clears in the tray mount. I think it's still okay. Yeah, I use ergo clears in the tray mount as well, and I think it's totally fine. And people say, you know, talk about tray mount as if it's like really bad, but it's really not. I mean, I just use a half plate tray mount build. So, you know, or like there's so many ways to go about it, right? But I suggest trying it out. 4mm brass was way too much with linears for me. It felt like it was typing against the wall. Yeah, I mean, it could feel like that too. So, but I don't think what someone says is going to be the same as other people's opinions. So, yeah, just give it a shot first. No half plate for Duck Viper, sadly. Could just do plateless, I guess. Oh, if you're using a Duck Viper and it's a Tremont, that must be a V1. That's pretty cool. I used to have a V1 Duck Viper. That's nice. Duck Viper V1s are actually super nice because the ano is so smooth. The V1s came out with really nice anodizing. In my opinion. Oh my gosh, I'm like, ooh, it's hot. No, you. Still holds up nicely. PCB died recently, but luckily they decided to make a Sidewinder thing. Yeah, I know. Sidewinder became a thing, and you know that Sidewinder became a thing because you know the story behind the Sidewinder? So the story behind the Sidewinder is basically that Duck had a bunch of V1 PCBs left over from the V1 buy, and he just made small revisions, make sure they're all functional, and he was like, you know what, instead of, I mean, I can't, you know, I guess it was like, instead of re-releasing the same case, it was like, let's make the Duck Sidewinder a Duck Raven. So that's where it came from. It came from an excess number of PCBs from the first Duck Viper Eagle group buy. Yeah. So the Sidewinder is an offshoot because he just had too many PCBs that otherwise would be useless, right? Because you can't use it in other places, especially the Viper ones. Like the Viper ones are cut out in an HHKB like form. So yeah. Why don't he just trash those PCB and get some with good software support? Because that's a waste if you already like have them, you know. And some people, I guess, you know, people still get them. I mean, of course you can make new PCBs, but if that's the case, he might as well just do a full new version of boards, which, I mean, in the end turned out to be like all the Snow Pro stuff and all the, and also like all the like the V3s and stuff. Thockwave, are these alpacas lubed and filmed? Yes, they are indeed. Yep, they are. They are indeed all lubed and filmed. Lubed with Tribosys 3204 and filmed with, I believe, these are TX films. Yeah. Alright, so... Hi, I'm new here. Me too. Hello. Hi, Dingus. Hi, Zujo. Hello. Welcome. Being new is okay. Feel free to ask any questions if you guys have any. That is totally fine. Hello, big fan. Wait, so I'm still confused. Is Dingus Hammer? Is Dingus someone else? I'm always confused with who is who on Twitch. Hi, is that the Lin montage? No, it is not. This is Key Cult number 1. OG, I guess. The first Key Cult number 1. It is, in fact, the first Key Cult number 1. I think I'm someone else. Oh, okay. There's a friend of mine who is like local, whose alias is Dingus Hammer, and you know, he's just a friend of mine, so I'm always confused if that's him. Be nice. Teflon. Took the L on key called extras today. I'm sorry. I know that a lot of people tried today. That's unfortunate. Maybe I'm local. God, this is torture. You should just like DM me on Discord so I know who you are. I calculated the chance of winning was 0.87% if my math is still usable. That sounds about right. I mean, 0.87%, like less than 1%. Makes sense. How many units were there again? 100 of each? 100 of 160s and 100 of 165s? So, I see. So, 200 units. Okay. .87%, huh? I see. Quite a few entries then. I didn't realize that they had published how many people had entered. I didn't know that they did that. Why did I not buy Black Desco? It's so lit. Why did you not buy Black Desco? It is very lit. Oh yeah. This board is for me, right? If you can somehow impersonate the person for whom I'm building this, then maybe. But you'll have to figure it out. It's gonna be some detective work over there. I actually think the plates filing went better than I imagined at first, because I thought, oh my gosh, this is such a thick brass plate, and I've done it before, but obviously when you do things for the first time, it's very different from when you do it for the second time or the third time. And I was like, well, it's been a while. What if it's scuffed? But no, it turned out to be okay. Do alpacas need to be filmed? Yeah, people recommend they do. They are filmed. That you use switch films on them. Oh, yo, Mr. Salvin. Hello. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome 50 so viewers from Salvin's stream. How was today's CNCing? Katana Mech, hello, hello. You guys missed the scuffed part of the stream. No, I'm just kidding. It was not really scuffed. I was just filing the plate a little bit. Ringo64, how are you? I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you for asking. Blackie Grit, hey, what's up? Coffee Cult friends. Machine Go Burr. Hello from Teja Discord. Hey, Alex, the Swan guy. Hello. How are you doing? Salvin is here. Time to talk about Sophia. Oh, Sophia by Nyx Etheria. Studio Nyx. I built one of the first few Oxalis out there, and that was a scuffed stream. I remember. Oh, speaking of scuffed streams, I remember I had to file. I didn't have to file the plate for that. I had to file the PCB for it because the PCB would not fit on the. It wouldn't fit on the USB port because it was the top piece and the bottom piece were not designed properly, and so it didn't fit the PCB. And so I had to, like, first I tried swapping the ports, like from top side and bottom side, that kind of stuff, and then it was a designer mistake. Yeah, it was, and then I had to file the PCB so that the port would fit. That was an adventure, but I mean, it was fun. It also helped Mr. Nathan not have to deal with it himself later on, because he built one after I built one, and I was like, hey, so heads up, if you don't want to do this You should know that you're gonna have to file it before you start stream. Or figure it out beforehand. Get a replacement PCB or something. But yeah, that was a while back. But yeah, Salvin, good to see you here. Thank you so much for stopping by. Good to hear that the burring today went well. No pun intended. But, let's see. Alright. So, the, everything looks good now. Looks like our stab is returning properly this time. So that's a good thing. So we'll continue with the build, shall we? Alrighty. So let's start soldering. Where's my little thing? In the blind test, can you tell the difference between 3204 and 205? Probably not if they're both applied very thinly. Because it just spreads, so at that point they're just both like grease. And no, probably not. I would say if you apply like a moderate amount, you could probably just tell the difference because 205 is pretty thick. So I personally actually prefer using 3204. It's a little bit easier to work with for me. At least for 205, like I can also that also means that I can save my 205 to use for like stabilizers and other things. So yeah. But yeah, no, I mean I like both. I like both for switches quite a lot. But I do think that I prefer 204 in general, and then I like using 205 if, let's say, the switch has like it's very like has blemishes, or like, you know, has like a decent amount of scratchiness that like I want to mask, because it is thicker, so it's going to be masking those defects a little better, if that makes sense. Alrighty. So anyhow, for those who are just coming into stream, we are building a Kyuu right now. I have it right next to me. Just gonna move some stuff out of the way. So I'm gonna move the case over here so you guys can see it. It's just a pink Kyuu. And then I'm about to solder. Consistency is the same since they are both grade 0. Yes, that is the NLGI grading. It basically is like how it's like, how do you explain? It's like chemically, I guess you could explain it as like a form of like uniformity in the mixture in grease. Is that 909 R3? It's R2 actually. It's 909 R2. Would 205 last longer? It's the same. It's about the same. Yeah. As far as how long they would last. Yep. I'm gonna turn on the fan. I know that there is a fan running in the background already, but there's gonna be another fan. So I apologize, but I certainly don't want to inhale any smoke. Maybe I'll reduce some of the input gain a little, so you guys can actually not go deaf listening to this. Don't want that solder fume. Yeah, exactly. Don't want that solder fume for sure. I'll lift this a little bit too. Want to buy that Schrodinger, by the way? It's actually not mine. I'm actually borrowing it. So yeah. We're used to the burr, so this is fine. Oh, that's true. You guys are used to the burr. That is very true. Let's see. Alright. So, for those who are coming in new to the stream, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. But if not, I might begin talking about your favorite things, which is my sponsors and the products that they are currently running in group buys, as well as other additional details about how you can get cool things. But okay, let me address that question first. Which desk mat are you currently using? Looks pretty nice. This is the it's one of the GMK Apollo desk mats from TX Keyboards. How common is warping on GMK space bars? I would say a very small amount of warping is fairly common. Like, I see it. People don't notice it as much because once they kind of like go on the stab, it's not as noticeable. But I would say that, like all plastic, warping is more than it's very likely. PBT is obviously more notable for its warping in our community, and also because it is easier to warp PBT. A lot of the PBT gets actually warped during the dye sublimation process, because dye sublimation requires it's like thermal printing basically. You basically apply heat to sublimate, right, the ink into the plastic, the dye into the plastic. So that's basically what dye sublimation does, and in that process PBT can warp. ABS, on the other hand, it has a different threshold, right, temperature wise, so it won't warp that easily, but it can certainly warp still. My CRP spacebar is way straighter than 909 R3. Oh, I see. And I think, yeah, so I think the warping problem has been more recent with the recent GMK sets, especially starting from like 909, or like maybe it was a little before, maybe it was a little after, but yeah, it's been the more notable lately. I would say it's still fixable. Like there is ways to fix it. So not all is lost, just because it is warped. I mean, I sure hope that there is going to be some resolution to the quality control problem that is happening with regards to that. But yeah, I mean, it can happen though. I think it is a little bit. I mean, I understand that people are paying a good amount of money and expecting a pretty perfect product, but things like these do happen when we have so many key sets being made. There's so many key sets being made. No, they don't. LOL is not due to dye subbing. It is due to dye subbing though. Dye sublimation can heat up PBT enough that you can bend in the cooling process. Anyhow, why do a lot of new keyboards not have a new Windows key? I guess aesthetic. Yes, it is. People still, I mean, even if people don't have a Windows key physically on that position, you can still reprogram the PCB to have the Windows key programmed elsewhere, anywhere else on the board. So technically you still have the you still have the Windows key somewhere, but you can just reprogram it elsewhere. That's what a lot of people do. So in my case, I have my Windows key here, like I have my control here, and the rest is the same as everything else should be. But yeah, that's how I do things. That's because I don't use the caps lock, so that's why I can program the caps lock as control over there. So for caps, for capital letters, I just use shift keys. Or I just put the caps lock in a function layer and I just toggle it. Imagine not using caps. Imagine. Anyway, but who really uses the right Windows keys? Always the left one? Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about my sponsors for the stream. But just talking about group buys are currently with several vendors. So let's first start up with Canon Keys. So canonkeys.com. Canon Keys just opened a pretty interesting new group buy actually for Cherry Profile PVT keycaps with die sublimated legends. The set is called Keycaps 0. It has some pretty cool novelties. I personally suggest you to check it out. It has kind of like a monochrome sort of theme going on. And it is indeed Cherry Profile. This is the first set in that series of Keycaps. I haven't seen them in person, of course, but so far the die sublimation looks pretty promising. And well, it is indeed Cherry Profile, so it'll be similar to like Enjoy PVT or like GMK, etc. And I think it comes at a price of $100. So go check out Keycaps 0 on canonkeys.com. There's an affiliate link that you can use as well if you would like to support my work. Just do exclamation sponsors and you'll find all of the links for the sponsors of the stream. On Canon Keys, there's also Summer Palette Desk Mats by I forget the username, but they're summer themed desk mats. They come in really cute colors, so do check out some desk mats over there. They're going to be available till the end of the month. Next up is Dixie Mech. Head over to dixiemech.com/lightning to head to the Dixie Mech store. And on Dixie Mech, right now we have GMK Pono running until August 14th. There are a bunch of desk mat designs as well with the key set, as well as Rama keycaps. There's two different Rama keycap designs. GMK Pono is all stock GMK colors. Uses a very cute pink, the same pink used in 909, on top of a gray base. So do check out GMK Pono. It was designed by Sour, who also designed logos for many different people in the community, including mine. So I personally trust Sour and really think that he's a great designer. And yeah, I suggest checking out Pono. It's going to be up until the 14th of this month. So that's maybe like 10 days from now, 9 days from now. Next up is GMK Minimal by Janglad and Dixie Mech, as well as Ryan, Wadepo, I think. So they are running GMK Minimal Round 2. This time we have GMK Minimal Round 2 with a bunch of different new kits. There's Mono Legend kits, as well as colored accents. So do check out GMK Minimal. It also has the Rama keycap from last time. It's going to be running until the end of the month. And as you might know, GMK Minimal is a minimalistic set. It's black on white, and it comes with text-only modifier keys, and it starts only at $99 per base kit. So head on over to dixiemech.com/lightning for GMK Minimal Round 2. Next up is mintautumn.com. Mint Autumn is also the creator of the Rukia. It's the Alice layout polycarb keyboard. However, it's the round 2 is currently already underway, so it's in production. There could be extras in the future, so if you want to tune to that, you should check out mintautumn.com. But they also have other projects coming up, such as polyethylene made cases. There is going to be a TKL produced in polyethylene, so the same material that the inverse stems are made out of. So if you're interested in that stuff, do check out Mint Autumn. They also have a Discord server where Jack Static will answer a lot of your questions. Gotta go. Thanks for the stream and everyone in chat. Sounds good. See you later, OCJ. Then take care. Thanks so much for stopping by. All right. Rookie extras are gonna be impossible to get. LOL. Yeah, they're pretty popular. That's for sure. Anyway, next up we have novelkeys. So head on over to novelkeys.xyz and you can use the promo code Thunder during checkout and you'll get 5% off all in-stock items. They restocked a bunch of different switches today, as well as Gingham keyboard kits. I talked about it a little bit earlier. They also will be having NK65 V2 kits going up on Monday in black aluminum. And a bunch of different colors will be coming up later in the future. There's also, what was that? Tomorrow, there's going to be extras for the Rama M6C in the milkshake color, as well as GMK Camping, Analog Dreams, and what else? A couple of other things, right? But a bunch of extras will be going up tomorrow at noon Eastern Time. So do check out novelkeys.xyz for that. When they go live. On novelties, GMK Mecha 01, which is themed after the famous purple and green and orange mecha, is still going on group buy until the end of this week, so it ends in 2 days. It ends on August 7th. 7th of August. You should, if you are into purple and green and orange color schemes, you should check out GMK Mecha 01. And GMK Bento R2 just went live for group buy and will be up until the end of the month. As usual, it comes with a bunch of Deathmat designs as well as Rama keycaps, a few new kits. There's a darker kit as well as the classic Bento kit. So if you're interested in GMK Bento round 2, you should check out novelkeys.xyz. Let's test this. Where's my USB? Okay. Next sponsor we have is Prime Keyboards. It's primekb.com/lightning. They're currently waiting for stock for a bunch of different things like silent alpacas, Duroc stabilizers, which are currently in transit to Prime KB. They will also be stocking a bunch of cherry stabilizers along with the Duroc ones when they come up. So that'll be coming up fairly soon. It should be like in the next week or two. What else? There are prototypes for Meridian, which is a new, it's still very early in that phase. But basically, they're in a prototyping phase for a new Alice-like layout keyboard collab with AIO3. T1 switches are also going to be restocked, stocked more soon. There's springs, of course, Deskey's films, Deskey's Topre silencing rings are also available on primekb.com. What store? This is Prime Keyboards, primekb.com/lightning. They also have switch openers and lube stations. Let me see. Let's test this PCB. Next up, we have Project Keyboard, and on Project Keyboard, we currently have GMK Sumi. GMK Sumi is a minimalistic monochrome set inspired by Japanese calligraphy in the Sumie method. It comes with a bunch of Rama keycaps as well as Desmat designs. So do check out GMK Sumi, which is going to be on group buy until the middle of this month. So on August 15, it's going to end. And then the next set that's currently on group buy on Project Keyboard right now is GMK Dolch R5. I designed that set. So it's like my baby. But GMK Dolch R5 features a row 5 bottom row, a customized teal color modeled after the Dolch logo, as well as red accents. It has like ISO support. There's an extension kit and Hangul alphas that you can also purchase. So if you purchase, let's say, all 3 kits, you can actually outfit 2 keyboards fully with Dolch, with like different accents as well. So go check out GMK Dolch R5. We also have a cherry logo keycap made by Rama. So it's going to be an aluminum anodized keycap, anodized aluminum keycap with infill, animal infill for the cherry logo. And OG Space Keys R2 is also running simultaneously as GMK Dolch R5. So if you need like space keys for, let's say, like split space bars for like beige sets or white and black, black on white, even Oblivion actually, you can actually get space keys for that. Of course, Dolch space keys are also going to be available, but they are run currently by Heine, so you can head over to heine.cc to get OG space keys if you're in America, and then there's proxies for every region as well. So that's GMK Dolch R5. And speaking of GMK Dolch R5, there is a giveaway currently on the Project Keyboard Instagram. So if you haven't checked that out, you should definitely consider checking the Project Keyboard Instagram for a giveaway prize. There is a set base kit being given away anywhere in the world. So go ahead, check out the Instagram profile for Project Keyboard for the rules on how to enter. It should be running till this weekend. So you got a little bit of time. Wait, what's the name of their upcoming Alice board, Thought-Wave? It's Meridian. Meridian. Alright, so the way this works, pretty simple. It just has a bunch of screws that put the plate together with the top piece, so it's kind of like you would think it would be like top mount, but it's more so just to secure it in place. It's really a sandwich, as the plate kind of sits between the top and the bottom piece. Are box switches still busting GMK sets in 2020? I have not heard of box switches having issues lately. I believe they were revised back then, and I haven't really heard of any issues since then. What are some other keycap manufacturers other than GMK that are good to work with for caps? There are Cat key sets. There's Signature Plastics, which does DCS, SA and DSA profile. There's like XZA makers out there, I think. There's Enjoy PVT for cherry profile. There's JTK that does double shot ABS for cherry profile as well. There's a bunch. There's quite a lot. But I mean, if you are looking for like ABS double shot similar to GMK, then I suppose JTK is the closest. But there's like been other makers popping up. There's like Infinikey popping up. There's like Canon Caps, as I just mentioned, which is cherry profile PVT. Yeah, no, there's so many now. Definitely worth exploring your options if you are looking to design your own set. But I personally do still like GMK quite a lot, because I mean, I think that the quality of their legends and whatnot is still pretty good, and the prices have been about the same actually. Yeah, I mean, like JTK still has some legend issues, I think. But they're relatively minor actually. I do have a few JWK sets and they're fine. They're just as good. They're thick double shot ABS caps. Yeah. There are alternatives though to GMK. Like GMK doesn't have legend issues right now. Yeah, I know. I know that they do have issues. If you care about legend issues, use blanks. Yes, that is also correct. If you care too much about legends, then just use blanks. Make your life easier. GMK is the most expensive of those. Yeah. It's not like the other options are super cheap either. Feel pros and cons, you know, like Cat is like spherical, right? But like there hasn't been that many sets yet. Like I mean, there's a ton of sets in group buy and in production, but there's not that many sets out yet. So it's kind of hard to say whether Cat is super promising, because Milkshake had its own issues with legends being like rotated or like not, you know, like legends had issues with Cat as well. So like for Milkshake, and so you know there's still some things to be ironed out for Cat sets. And so we don't know like what's going to happen after this. No, because I need to see every single letter. Yeah, like yeah, I mean, if you're very particular about legends, for sure, like consider using blanks or adjusting your expectations around like how much keycap manufacturers are able to do, because yeah, it's in some ways limited. I do love how cat sets look. They look pretty cute. I have to say I'm still not huge on spherical profiles in general, but I need to try cat for myself to really be sure about that. EPT still consistently delivering the most banana caps though. True that. They've been consistent over the years. It's still better than before though. Like it used to be worse, I feel, for EPVT. Like both in terms of the warping and the legends, you know, like the legends have gotten better. They're less fuzzy, I think. So I just got Royal Alpha and it's hella bent. Oh, that's unfortunate. I was actually debating whether I should get that, but I was waiting to see what people got too. I was really surprised by how much I like MT3. Oh yeah, MT3 is also pretty nice. Like there's Serica and there's like Susawatari by Mateo. That one's kind of interesting too. Oh yeah, so I have 2 keycap sets here available to me, like right next to me. Do you guys have any suggestions for keycap sets? Because if not, I have obviously GMK Olivia. And I recently got this set called GMK is this KA frick. I forget the number. Anyway, it's the Valentine set. 2017, yes, 2017. That's right, Valentine. 2017. The pink is kind of off. Yeah, I know. Olivia, JI pink is already on a board, so I'm too lazy to go get it. Please no. Okay. Alright, we'll just do Olivia. Well, let's make our lives a little bit simple here. I do need to get, let's see, I do need to get the space bar. Get that. I'm not sure. Is Analog Dreams taken? Yeah, I already have it on a different board, so I would have to like go and take it off. So I streamed Analog Dreams on my last stream. So if you want to check out Analog Dreams, that's where it is right now. I'm still salty about the SAU caps. I'm sorry, Soran. That is very unfortunate here. So sad. Let's see. Alrighty, let's see. Spacebar. I clicked buy on Mecha a few minutes ago. That's an endgame set for me. Nice. Hyundai keyboard with big ass enter? Huh. Are these the only arrow keys I have here? I have resin arrow keys as well, but let's just do colored arrow keys this time. You got your cut. Yeah, I was talking about it and someone was like, please no. So we're not doing that, I guess. Yeah, but I did, Mart. I'm new to this future hobby, I guess. I never imagined that keyboards can be this premium and amazing. I just purchased my first ever custom KBD67 MK2. I'm excited. Can't wait to build my first key. I remember when I felt when I used to feel like that, and I still kind of feel very excited when I get new keyboards and stuff. So I can relate to that. DM you with a pick. Okay, I'll check it out in a bit. Soren, I really like your Discord profile picture. So cute. It does look interesting though. It looks like sort of OEM. Pink spacebar? I have to go look for it. I need to go get it if I'm gonna do pink spacebar. It's somewhere in the back over there. Let's go with this for now. I am sorry. That's alright then. I'm sorry. If I were less lazy, right? You can blame me for it. I'm quite a bit late. What's in the build? Do exclamation build and you'll find out more about the build itself. But basically it's alpacas with 62 gram springs looped and filmed on a brass plate. That's basically what it is. Where's my... I have an Earl. Nice accent. And we have... Where's my page down? Page up keys. Okay. Page down. Page up. And there we go. How's that? I like that. I like how that looks. love Earls, my personal top 5. And for sculpts, I do think Earls are fantastic as well. I just got this one. It's new. Just got it from somebody else. Very slick. This looks so interesting. What are the differences between normal and custom keyboards, except I can choose what I want? So besides that, basically, I would say, like, yes, you can choose your own layout to begin with. I think that's the number one thing I would consider. It's like, what kind of layout do you want to work with? Number 2 is what kind of switches, what kind of plates. You can reprogram your PCBs. So that means that you can put like whatever key in whatever place you want, which is awesome. Means that you can make your own shortcuts, you can make your own macros, you can whatever you want, right? Next thing you can pick is obviously the look. So obviously, like, there's like keyboards that come in different colors, right? Plates, plate materials, switch materials, and like you can lube them, you can spring swap them, you can have really heavy switches, you can have really light switches, like, yeah, different colors. Like, there's so many options. So many options. Alright, so let's unplug this guy and put it away. Just don't throw them into the deep end. You mean like the people? How's that look? Night Sakura look good? If only it was out. Let's see. It's got me hyped that Olivia R2 is shipping soon. Oh yeah, that is shipping soon, right? That is pretty awesome for sure. Alright, let's see. Yes, noise, music off, noise off. I know. I'll get there. I'll get there. Yeah. So that off, this off, and sure, sound off, music off rather. Then I can let's see. Are you making extra resistant keyboards for players of competitive games? Lazat, so I actually have built for competitive gamers. Actually, well, one time I built one for a pro gamer, and undisclosed. And I also built a keyboard for a manager of an esports team. Very nice person. Met him locally too. Alright, so let's get to a typing test. CSGO or Overwatch players? Overwatch, one of them. Someone else was in StarCraft actually. And someone else was in, what were they in? Something else. I'm currently spacing out about it, but yeah. It was not an FPS game. Maybe it was Dota, but I don't remember. Alright. You guys ready for this? Alright, so this is a Kyuu with 62-gram alpacas, lubed with Tribosys 3204, croissant spec, lubed, with TX films on a brass plate with GMK Olivia Keycaps. Alright, here we go. Alright, so that's what it sounds like. What do you guys think? Sounds better than what I expected. Not as deep as I thought it would be. Yeah, Kyuu definitely sounds a little bit clacky. Maybe it's the low case plus the brass plate. Yeah, several things I assume. Sounds good to me. Yeah, it sounds good to me too. Let's try typing on it again. I actually want to listen to it a little bit more carefully. So let's just type on this again. Let's try. Same exact test, basically, 117. So you're making extra infrangible keyboards? What do you mean infrangible? What's an infrangible keyboard? What does infrangible mean? Infrangible? You mean intangible? I don't understand. What's the hell is infrangible? Unbreakable. Oh, I see. Oh, I mean, not everyone that I built for is a gamer. Is it GMK Olivia? Yes, it is GMK Olivia. This is GMK Olivia round 1. Apologize for the zoom. I mean the focus. This is GMK Olivia. What are my thoughts on Kyuu? So my thoughts on Kyuu are that it's a nice board. First of all, I would buy it on a group buy. Like I like it a lot. Like the aesthetic is pretty cool. Like it's pretty low. Like it's pretty low front. Like the front is really nice and low. The typing angle is not very steep. Like it's very comfortable to use. So in many ways I probably would buy, like, you know, during a group buy. Oh, it's not focusing. But I guess the main thing for me is I would probably not buy it in the aftermarket, just because I think the aftermarket right now is pretty crazy. Like before, like there was like aftermarket price used to not be so bad. Like right now I think people are saying like what, 2K for these? I don't even know. Right? Very expensive. And so it's like, you know, I probably wouldn't pay $2,000 for pretty much any keyboard ever. But you know, some people think that it's worth it. So yeah. It's nice but really overrated. It's overrated for the aftermarket price in that sense, right? Like if you can afford it, good for you. But I personally think I wouldn't buy for that price. I wouldn't buy any keyboard for that price, for that, just to make it clear. But it's a really nice board for sure. It's solid. I still have qualms about it. Like my obvious qualms are the plate is super tight. Like the fact that I had to file the plate a little bit so that the stabs could just go in just fine. Like, you know, have no issues. Like, you know, right now there's no issues with it because I filed the plate. But like you don't always have to do that because there's tolerance differences. But the fact that I just had to resort to it is a little bit bothersome. Like I wish the plate had looser tolerances. I wish the plate files were readily available. Things like that. Like they're kind of quality of life things at this point that I would be concerned over. It's a nice board though. Like, you know, weight is really nice. Like, you know, anodizing super clean, colors are nice. Like it looks very sleek, you know. But yeah, that's my thought. Anyhow, 7 degrees. Yeah, I think it is 7 degrees. What's my main board currently? I type on a lot of different boards, but the one I was typing on earlier was a Keycap #1. I like the Apollo as well, but I wasn't able to get one during the group buy. I see the extras went up like last week, I think, for that. 1K aftermarket used to be like a rarity reserved for big boy boards. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. I can offer $2,000 keyboard. Yeah, it's wild. Yeah. There's okay. For anyone out there who's coming into the hobby, just because people are paying those prices doesn't mean you have to. First of all, there's new group buys every month. Like literally, I think like at least every 2 or 3 weeks I see one new keyboard group buy. At least. It might not be in the layout you want or exactly what you want, but it means if you wait a little, there is going to be something new coming out. Sure, you have to wait for it to ship. Sure, it might cost a certain amount of money, but it's still better to get it directly from the people who make it than to get it aftermarket, where there's risks, obviously, from buying and selling, as well as the prices are very inflated right now. So just like a word of warning, like just because other people do it doesn't mean you have to. You can just wait and get something you like when it hits. You know, it'll come. What future keyboard project do you find interesting? Future keyboard projects. I want to try the Prophet. It's a 60% keyboard by Cable Car Designs. Wes Foxtrot. He has this interesting pin mounting method that I find pretty cool. It's kind of unique. I want to try that for sure. Recently I tried the Zenith, which was really nice. I'm excited for the Juby as well. The Juby is a board by Poner slash Ion Keyboards. It's like a PCB mount only board sort of. So that's kind of exciting. It's similar to the Equinox that ran as like a 40% keyboard. That was pretty exciting too. What's a personal board of yours that you use the most? A board that I use a ton is my Duck Poker. I also use my Gasket 00 a lot. I use my T-Jar Jane a lot. Probably those three right now. I used to use my Mira a lot. I use it less nowadays, but still use quite a bit. I use my HHKB a lot too. I always come back to Topre. And Topre, if I had to choose one Topre board that I really like, that's the HHKB for me. Some people will say Leopold or Real Force, but that's personal choice. Actually looks weird. Isn't black most neutral and best looking? What colors are most people ordering? I think black, yeah, neutral colors are still king. Well, like Funzy will say, like, yeah, black, silver, and gray most ordered. I would say black and gray the most ordered, silver least popular among those three, but still neutral colors the most ordered. Again, I'm not against buying an aftermarket for your first board. No, I'm not against it. You can always sell it later. Correct. Again, it's just whether you want to spend the money or you're willing or not. Patience is essential requirement in this hobby. Yep. Wait for Hubble 65. Kind of cool design. I actually haven't seen. I mean, I've heard about the Hubble 65, but I don't know much about it yet. If you're just getting into a hobby, a 1K purchase might be difficult to justify. I would not justify it. If I were new to this hobby right now, I would not justify a $1,000 keyboard. No chance. I'll be like, no, I'll just wait for whatever's next. Yo, Duck Poker with the riser. It's the Duck Poker V1. So it's the Duck Mini V1. So it's just the angled board. The riser one is the one that the V2. It has like a huge back weight on it. You can easily make that 1K back when you decide to sell the board, though. That is true, but it's like a down. It is like a down payment. It's just something that I personally don't want to engage in. I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's like I would prefer not to. Duck Orion 2.5 coming out. Duck Orion, I mean Duck boards are also fantastic. Wait, someone just subbed and I'm missing it right now because of this. Who just subbed? Oh, Obsidian, thank you so much for the sub. Is this the place? Hey, thank you so much for the 5 months. Duck Orion, yeah, Duck does great boards very quickly. Very high quality for what I mean. Like, people complain about the programming and the PCBs, but relative to what is out there, like, a very prolific maker with very successful designs. Very cool too. Typing angle might be steep, but you can actually, if you have good posture, it's actually easier. Who's Supreme? Hey, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Welcome to the family. But yeah. As someone asked about how to type faster, yeah, Draxion, easiest way is to slow down. Slow down first. Work on your placement. There's a few websites that you can try. There's like Ratatype, I think, and keybr.com. You can try to practice your finger placements for typing faster, and then start slow, and then you'll get faster as practice on getting your accuracy up first, and then you get your speed up. Yeah, accuracy before speed. Yeah. Yeah. Try to get 100% as fast as possible. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yo, Sensei Ja, thank you so much for continuing your gift sub. Thank you. I feel like typing fast has a lot to do with reading fast too. For sure. It is like an input-output process, right? And also, like, remember, like, I mean, like, let me pull, like, I pulled this typing test up, right? And, like, if you look at the words, these are all like non-capitalized, right? They're simple words. Like, they're like I think these word banks for the typing test are all populated by the most commonly used English words, which, yeah, if you see them often, you'll soon be able to type them quickly too, right? It's just exposure. Repetition makes you better at recognizing things, even like, because you can technically read words just by looking at the first and last letter, and the rest of the letters can be jumbled. And so like people who quickly read things can like just read letters and they'll know what word they're looking at. So yeah, sometimes I'll halt in the middle of my typing test and I'm just like, yeah. I used to type really slowly, got faster, but I had bad posture, and I fixed it by I fixed it by doing ergo. I did ergo split. I used to type on a VA a bit, and that kind of fixed my posture a lot. I used to use index finger for my space bar. That was so bad. But yeah, I don't do that anymore. My hardest thing is I get distracted about 30 seconds away. 30 seconds in? Yeah. It is easy to get distracted too. That is true. Oh wow, it's already been 2 hours and 40 minutes. Wow, time flies, guys. I do have to get back to doing some other stuff in a bit, so I will have to say bye soonish. Just gonna see if anybody else is streaming at the moment. Apiary is streaming, huh? That's okay. We could raid Apiary. Let's see if there's any other keyboard people. Or otherwise, we can always raid some other people. I definitely see a lot more keyboard people on Twitch lately. It depends on the time though. Weekends especially, you see a lot of them. We can raid Apiary. Anyway, why do people flip their space bars? Whoops, sorry. That got held for some reason. Why do people flip their space bars? For comfort. Some people type. Some people say that if they type with their thumb, like on the space bar on the thumb, it's like too sharp. If you have regular space bars, so by flipping it, you're basically typing on the flat side of the space bar. So that's why people flip them. I personally don't like it because the travels feel shorter when you flip your space bar. I don't like it personally. Ortholinear is actually a great way to learn your finger placements. Yeah, that is true. Do you prefer crazy Chinese designs or classic Western designs? Do you prefer crazy Chinese designs or classic Western designs? I guess there's a mix, if you could say that. Some designs are crazy, but they're like nice. Like the Moon TKL is a keyboard that I think is very unique. And like, yeah, at first I was like, whoa, that's kind of out there, but it looks really sleek. The curves are so nice on it. I love the Moon TKL, for instance. But there's like simple designs like you know, wedge like designs like these, and they look good. I appreciate them too. Alrighty, let's go raid Miss Apiary. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for stopping by stream today. It was a fun time. I actually felt like the time flew by. So it was a lot of fun though. But anyway, for those who you know, please consider supporting Dolce R5. This is my last time to plug it in. But otherwise, you know, check out all the group buys with my different sponsors. There's always my Discord and my socials. You can always follow me on Instagram, on here on Twitch, as well as on Discord. You can always feel free to contact me to ask any questions you might have about anything keyboard related. And thank you, Obsidian, for the link. All right, friends. Well, I'm gonna go and raid Apiary. Let's go say hi, and thank you as always. I'll be streaming again sometime soon. I do have a rebuild I want to do. I built my Keycap 160 the other week. I want to be rebuilding that with a polycarb half plate. So that might be next, if not a client build. But that will definitely is in the pipeline. We will definitely rebuild my 160 with a polycarb half plate, and we'll be comparing it with the aluminum full plate that we have. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, just follow me. I don't have a stream schedule, so I basically just go live whenever I have the time, like today. Yeah, that's all I have. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Let's go read 10 more seconds, and we'll be gone. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and have a good evening. Okay.